All right, welcome to another episode from the Chart Reader. So we will be taking a look at the weed sector, reviewing Tilray, CGC, MSOS, and High Tide. Very, very easy to start by saying I was really wrong on my last video. All right, I definitely said all of these looked like they were going to go down. I think all of them pretty much went up since my last video. So if you've seen my videos, this is no surprise to you. Otherwise, look, I am much louder about my mistakes than I am my wins, all right? No one wants to hear some dude or some girl like bragging for a long time. No, no, no. I'm here to talk about why I got it wrong, what we can learn from it, and what to expect going forward, all right? The easiest thing, and this will be the echo across all of them, look, the Dow Jones did well. All right, the Dow Jones had a little bit of a scare, makes its way back on up. S&P 500 had a little bit of a scare, makes its way back up, right? So I think in a little bit of a way that makes sense why we have a little bit of a scare and make our way back up, right? With CGC, I talked about the black hole vortex of all-time lows. Clearly, again, that didn't happen as well, right? But I'm going to just say the echoing theme is, though I was wrong on the last couple days, I'm still kind of holding my skepticism, all right? I'm much, much happier we're up here at 190 than 170, and that in a lot of ways was a little bit of how I was kind of viewing my overall sector bullishness. But yeah, I'm a little more hesitant than I was, but I'm happy to see what we're doing at least, right? I'm glad I was wrong, to say the least, right? So yeah, before we go any further and I give you more of my thoughts and opinions, what are we going to do? Same thing we always do, right? We'll take a look at the daily and the weekly to see how these things are setting up short term. We have our 5 moving averages. There are horizontal support and resistance lines that I do draw manually myself. And then when we are done up here, we'll use the MACD, RSI, and volume as our lower indicators. Hey, really quickly, if you can please subscribe to this channel, share this video online with your friends, comment good or bad. Look, anything you can do helps me so much with these YouTube algorithms, especially if you can actually hit that share button. But look, coming here, giving me your time, oh, I'm so grateful for all of it, all right? So let's get into it. And look, again, I gotta start with saying I was wrong on my last video, all right? It's really one of the big reasons why I always tell you, look, just because you find out my money's in something doesn't mean you should do the same. Or just because I decide to tell you, like, I sold something doesn't mean you should do the same, right? Like, I'm just a human, all right? I am a regular person. I make mistakes, and no one is perfect, all right? No one is pushing these 90%, 80%. Get out of here with all that noise, all right? So I'm going to go over why I was wrong. I'm going to go over what I'm expecting tomorrow. And really, like I started the video with, I got to start with, look, the indices, okay? The Dow Jones and the S&P 500 specifically to me. I don't really look at the NASDAQ because we're literally talking about farming here, right? Like, there is no technology. Oh, yeah, there's some tech, the lighting, the growing, blah, blah, blah. This is farming, all right? So Dow Jones, scary start to the week, all right? 20 moving average does the job. Obviously, Friday was whatever it was. It's going into a long weekend, right? I kind of always ignore Friday anyways. But yeah, we had the early scare. We have a nice recovery. We use the 8 and the 20 beautifully, right? SPX, S&P 500, exact same thing. We gap on below. We don't even really use the 20 as hard, right? But yeah, there's a little bit of a wick that comes back, and lo and behold, we're back up over it, right? So I think that mirror look on the two indices makes a lot of sense to me. And yeah, I for sure know that this is a Canadian company, right? But when you're living in a major market, when it is what it is, right? And you're gonna follow, you're gonna get that same gap down, and you're gonna go up, all right? I will easily say I think I overreacted to this single candle, all right? It's something you always hear me say, confirmation, 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 all right? It matters when you're going up to break. It matters when you're going down as well, all right? And really, I know, I don't even have to say I think, I know I focused on this one for 2 reasons at least. Number one, as I look in the volume, you can see that this was the first of really a few right? Not that many days have been breaking this 50 average line. This was a not a big break, but it was a first get over it in a good while on top of what looked like a big red candle. I can see that there was actually red over green and red over green on both the MACD and the RSI. Again, I was wrong, obviously, right? But I'm telling you why I was thinking it was going down, all right? And then lastly, look, this day was under, this day was under, this day was under, this day was under. We had basically 5 days in a row under all the moving averages, all right? Now, dojis never count, so there was really never confirmation on it, but I assumed that this was the confirmation of that, but that's just not how it works, right? You got to go back to back, right? So, yeah, again, I assumed we were going to keep going down. Instead, what happens, we make our way back up. And I know a lot of people were talking about the Friday strength. Look, I love it. If you look in the box over there, the high of Friday was $1.92, $1.92. The close of the day was $1.92. I love that, right? That means the market was buying and buying and buying and buying and buying and buying until the last second when they said, you know what, no, we're closed. Come back on Tuesday. It's a long weekend, all right? I like that. I generally do, all right? What I'm still looking at is a stock that's unable to break the 8 and the 20. Now, clearly, this single candle on Friday broke both. I see that, right? I also see that it happened right here and nothing came from it, right? I also see that since earnings, we haven't really done anything spectacular with that 20 line, the orange one, right? I'm still kind of seeing them go down, right? There was a moment, I think it was obvious, obviously it was this week where it looked like things were going a little bit horizontal. I can't really tell if they're going back down or not. The one stock I like looking at, and I haven't covered it in a long time and I apologize, but take a look at SNDL. I love calling this one Sandal. SNDL had kind of the same mimic from Tilray for no reason at all. It kind of dropped on that same earnings day and kept dropping since. This has since gotten over the 8, the 20, and now the 50, as you can see on Friday, right? So SNDL is starting to make a nice recovery. And I think maybe that has me a little bit a little bit hopeful for Tilray, okay? Again, I think Tilray dropping on the 9th and continuing, before I go back, but dropping on the 9th and continuing all the way down made a lot more sense than SNDL dropping on the 9th and continuing since. So I think the early recovery, I think it's justifiable. I think Tilray, hey, maybe the fact that the other one is willing to let go and do its own thing, maybe that means Tilray's kind of letting go. I don't know. Look, the one thing I will say is this $2 line is going to be a little bit difficult, all right? Because you have the 100 moving average right here at $1.90 something, and then immediately after you have the average 50, the 50 moving average at 201. Those are two real big lines. They're very close to each other. It's going to be hard to break these two, all right? So I think getting to 2 is kind of my immediate target. Look, I know everyone wants me to start talking about 211, breaking all 5. I know people want to start talking about the 240 break and maybe even the 3s yet, right? Look, this is a stock that's struggling with the 5 moving averages. This is a stock that's actually starting to move in a very tight cluster. And I can easily see this thing popping up, coming down, popping up, coming down. It happens when the 5 lines get really tight, all right? So I cannot think of anything above 250. Honestly, I can't even think about anything over 225 on Tilray. Right now, $2 is kind of the max. Maybe you can have some $2.10 dreams, but there's a lot that needs to happen before we even get close to 210, all right? If this can break 210, if we can maybe get to it's 211, I'd like a little bit more. Where are you? No, you're too low. See, I think 218 is a little too high. 214. I think 214 will be our number. 213, 214, 215, 216, somewhere in that little couple cent range. Make me believe you've broken the 200. It did it not that long ago. all right? And all 5 lines are here, but they're not as tight as right here, right? So that's one thing I don't like. It was break these, then break these is easier than break, right? But nonetheless, we got over all of them not too long ago. Let's do it again. Let's battle this line as many times as we can. Because again, I talk about the game Jenga, right? I talk about don't break the ice. You can only attack a zone so many times before it goes down, right? We need to take out the 200 as quick as we can. My kitty's at the door. Oh, she's the only one outside. What are you doing? Yeah. Yeah, I'm making videos. Good. All right. So yeah, again, don't, you know, I want this to go higher and higher. You know that, right? But you got to keep things in manageable expectations is what I like to believe, all right? Look, I'm kind of going to ignore the MACD and RSI right now. I think the RSI is very, very flat. And I think MACD is kind of doing this little over, little under, little over on the positive. Obviously, we're just a little under right now. To me, the focus is volume, all right? Yes, we've had 3 good days. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, right? No, we have not had 3 good volume days. All the days have been under the 50-day average, all right? You need a stock to break. This is my favorite joke, I think. Like, the average is a C student in the classroom. Like, this line is the difference between a C plus, a C, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not asking you to get B plus. Look, I would love for you to get B plus, A minus, right? Like, I'll put a bumper sticker on my trunk, you know what I mean? Like, I will, right? But I'm literally just asking for a little bit better than a C. And if you can do a little bit better than a C consistently, hey, maybe we'll start asking for a little bit. But just, if you're not doing at least average, you're a C minus student. You're on the border of D, right? You might be sitting back a year, right? Like, if you're not breaking the 50-day average of volume, you're not doing much. And yeah, we were close. Yeah, we were close. It's, I think, why I'm not even talking about this break of the 8 and the 20 that much. I think I've only mentioned it once on this, probably 10 minutes now, right? I'm not believing the moving averages are going to break yet. Again, I always say this, all right? You need to set a high criteria, okay? You work hard for your money, all right? I work hard for my money. I don't got a trust fund that I can just pull and, like, if I'm wrong, hey, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta make me believe you've earned my money. And yeah, I don't think I'm gonna buy it until that, like, 215, 216, 214-ish range, all right? So there has been a lot of back and forth about the Germany elections, the Germany voting timeline, all about, obviously, legalization. So and you know, I take all the news from my viewers, right? So you gotta hold me accountable if I'm wrong. Don't tell me when I'm not wrong too late, right? But we as me, I have been saying that April was the important timing for Tilray. There was a really, really good comment over the weekend that made it sound like, no, that's incorrect. The February vote is actually the one that matters, the one that will actually dictate legalization. The only difference is the start of the legalization will be in November. In April, okay? So with that, maybe the hype will be come election, maybe a little bit after, and then fizzle out in April, because again, buy the rumors, sell the news, right? So let me know what the thoughts and accuracies of that are. There was a hyperlink in the comments of the last video as well, so I remember, I liked the comment, I really did. It sounded far more educated than I know I am in this specific thing, right? So please, please, please let me know about that, all right? I'm not really looking at the weekly too much, all right? Again, just looking at it really quickly, this still echoes the $2 difficulty. That's essentially where the 8 average is on the weekly, right? So where's the 50? Look at that. The 50 on the weekly is 214. I think that echoes, maybe wait a little bit and do that 215, 216 a little better. But yeah, to me, it's all about the daily. It's all about getting over this. Lovely. All right, let me know your thoughts. Let me know your opinions. Even if you disagree, let's come into CGC. All right, listen, very, very quickly, I have to admit, I was wrong on my last video. All right, I am not here pretending I did not think, like, I know I did not think we were going to go up the last couple days. That's a very, very easy thing to say, okay? What I talked about on my last video was losing this 405 line and what I believe to be the start of all-time lows. And what I always call all-time lows is a black hole vortex, all right? Because it just eats and eats and eats and eats your money, okay? Maybe, and look, you can see, let's just actually get the exact. So what was the low of this day? 346. So 346 is the low of that wick. What was the low of this day? 341 was the low of this day, and the close was actually 349. So this actually does close a couple pennies over that 346 that we just talked about. Hey, maybe that did something, all right? Maybe that was the little support that got us up to here. The other thing is, you know, red, green, 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 green. One technical phenomena I talk about often, look, you can see it here. You fall away from the 8, you come to the 8. You fall away from the 8, you come to the 8, maybe even the 80, right? Another one here. Away from the 8 to the 8, away from the 8 to the 8, away from the 8 to the 8, right? So we fell away from the 8, we went to the 8. Listen, I'm still here believing this is going to go down into the all-time low black hole vortex that just eats your money. All right, I see it going down a little bit after hours. I really don't care about that. After hours, especially that insignificant a drop, that actually means nothing to me. What's concerning is how steep it looks like this 8 wants to go down. I'm glad the 20's not crazy steep just yet, but yeah, I'm assuming it's gonna follow shortly, all right? Again, I talked about the fact that Tilray has started going up, all right? I talked about the fact that SNDL has started going up. Look, I'm gonna talk about the fact that MSOS went up, even though I thought it was gonna go down. I don't know what high tide looks like. We're going to find out together right now. That one went up too, right? So everything I expected to go down did go up, right? I don't think I'm carrying that strength. Sorry, I don't think I'm carrying that as enough strength to make me believe all-time lows is not a concern here, all right? Hey, I will say this, and look, obviously we did close under the 8, so you know, we didn't technically get over it, right? We closed at 382, the number on top. You can see the average 8 was just a penny higher at 383, and there's literally a gap right there, right? There's a black space between the two little green points. That said, hey, look, if this can get into $3.86, man, red could make it a quick move up to this 405, break the 405, and hey, maybe even a quick move up to this let's call it $4.30 line, give or take, right? Because on Tuesday, it's probably going to open somewhere around here, right? Maybe 425. Nonetheless, there's a good chance that we can actually make a move from the 8 to the 20. I think there's a shot. I do. Do I believe I'm not calling that a recovery if it happens. And one more time, we're actually not over the 8 just yet. So we can very, very easily come down to $3.73. I think that's roughly where we're at post-market when I clicked. Yeah, a penny over that. Again, post-market doesn't matter too much. But yeah, it kind of makes sense that it's coming down to me because, yeah, we got close to it and we're going to go back down. That is my expectation unless this thing proves me a little bit better. All right? So, again, I was wrong. I am not pretending I wasn't wrong, right? But I am seeing a stock that lost a really important 455 line. I'm seeing a stock that fell through this line like a hot knife through butter. I can't expect it to break the 20 moving average. The two lines have been a problem for a minute now. For what? Geez, I mean, this is kind of since right here. I would say that the 8 and the 20 have been an issue since September of last year. There's a small moment right here where we were above it. Otherwise, we're literally under the 20, if not under the 8 as well for most of it, right? So I'm easy and happy to say I was wrong. I am not giving up my extreme concern on these two. All right. Wow, this was 20 minutes. That was not my plan at all. Let me stop here. I'll make another video on the other ones. Hey, I appreciate your time so much. Thank you.